In 2023, SpaceX had a big achievement with its 42nd Starlink mission. On April 29th, at 7:42 p.m. PDT, a Falcon 9 rocket took off from Vandenb Space Force Base in California. The rocket carried 24 satellites that will provide internet to people around the world. After liftoff, the rocket flew south and put the satellites into space successfully. This was the 13th time booster B-1093 had been used. It landed safely on a ship called Of Course I Still Love You just over 8 minutes after launch. With this mission, SpaceX finished its 42 Starlink missions in 1 year. So far, the company has landed 606 boosters successfully. This shows how much SpaceX is working to make space travel better and bring internet to people who don't have it yet. On April 27th at 8:53 p.m., United Launch Alliance, ULA, launched an Atlas V rocket from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. This was ULA's second Atlas V launch in April. The mission set a new record for the fastest turnaround time, beating the old record by almost 3 days. The rocket carried 29 satellites into space, called Amazon LEO. These satellites help provide internet service to people around the world. This was ULA's 6th flight to deliver these special satellites and its 7th overall. With this launch, Amazon got closer to its goal of over 3,200 satellites in orbit. They already had 270 satellites in space before this mission. The new process used for this launch will be a model for future launches at ULA. SpaceX launched a new Starlink mission from Vandenb Space Force Base at 8:23 p.m. tonight. This was the company's 40th Starlink mission of the year. The Falcon 9 rocket carried 24 internet satellites into space, adding to SpaceX's growing collection of over 10,200 spacecraft in low Earth orbit. The rocket flew south and deployed its payload successfully into orbit. The first stage booster landed on a ship called Of Course I Still Love You just 8 minutes after takeoff. This was the booster's 5th flight, making it one of many reused rockets for SpaceX in total. The company has landed 602 boosters, with 192 of those landings happening on this specific ship. SpaceX is getting ready to launch its Falcon Heavy rocket on Monday. This will be the 12th time this rocket has flown since it first took off in February 2018. The Falcon Heavy will carry a huge satellite called Viasat-3 F3 into space. It will go up to an amazing 22,236 miles above Earth. To reach that high, the rocket needs extra power. During the launch, the middle part of the rocket will be thrown away over the ocean. The 2 smaller rockets on the sides will try to land at the same time in special areas. This mission shows how well SpaceX can do its job. They're getting ready for a big project, sending a payload to Mars in 2028 under a $175.7 million contract with NASA. SpaceX delayed its Falcon Heavy rocket launch on April 27 because of bad weather. They haven't picked a new date yet. The Viasat-3 satellite was supposed to blast off at 10:21 a.m. EDT with an 85-minute window, but it only had a 70% chance of good weather. This is the latest in a long series of delays for this mission. When the Falcon Heavy does launch, its 2 side boosters will land safely back on Earth at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. The center core will fall into the ocean. The Viasat-3 satellite will leave the rocket's upper stage about 5 hours after liftoff. It will reach a special orbit in space called a geosynchronous transfer orbit. This is the 12th time SpaceX has flown a Falcon Heavy rocket, which first took off in 2018. The new satellite will add lots of speed to the Viasat network, helping people in Asia and the Pacific region stay connected online. On Sunday morning at Vandenb Space Force Base, something amazing happened. A Falcon 9 rocket blasted off from Space Launch Complex 4 East at 7:37 a.m. PDT under cloudy skies. This was the 50th Falcon 9 launch of the year for SpaceX. The rocket carried 25 new Starlink internet satellites to orbit. The booster, B-1088, had been used in 15 previous launches. It even landed on a drone ship called Of Course I Still Love You after just 8.5 minutes. This was its 193rd landing on that ship and the 603rd booster landing overall. The second stage of the rocket released the 25 Starlink satellites about an hour into flight. The mission was a success, helping to expand SpaceX's internet service. SpaceX is getting ready for another big launch on May 5th at Vandenb Space Force Base in California. A Falcon 9 rocket will blast off into space, carrying 24 new Starlink satellites that will help bring fast internet to people all around the world. This is the second Starlink mission this month, and it's part of a bigger plan to launch over 42,000 satellites into space. The Falcon 9 rocket has been used many times before. Its booster has made 24 flights already. The launch is scheduled for 7:35 p.m. PDT on May 5th. The rocket will go up into low Earth orbit and join the over 10,000 other spacecraft already in space. After launching, the Falcon 9 booster might land on a special ship called, Of Course I Still Love You. This would be its 195th landing. SpaceX is launching a new cargo ship to the International Space Station tonight at 6 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. This ship will carry over 5,000 pounds of food, water, and equipment for the astronauts on board. It also has research materials for science experiments. This mission is important because it's part of SpaceX's plan to reuse its rockets. If they can recover the booster rocket, they might be able to use it up to 10 times before it needs to be replaced. This could make launching rockets cheaper in the future. However, there's a risk that something will go wrong during the recovery process. The chances of success are only 30–40% because this is a very complicated task. Imagine being part of a team that helps send a rocket into space. That's exactly what happened with the Ariane 6, a powerful new rocket from Europe. In just 5 years, this rocket has changed a lot. It used to have only 2 boosters, but now it has 4. This makes it strong enough to carry really heavy things into space. In fact, its first version could only lift about 10.3 tons into orbit in 2024. But with the new Ariane 64, that number is going up. The Ariane 64 is a game changer for scientists and satellite builders. It can take heavier loads into space than ever before. This means we'll see even more cool things happening in space soon. The teams who worked on this rocket are super proud of what they've accomplished. Imagine being 36,000 kilometers above the Earth, watching our world below you. That's where Telesat operates, but they're having trouble. Their business is losing money, a lot of it. In fact, their revenue dropped by 25% compared to last year, and they lost $111 million. Telesat wants to fix this problem by getting new financing and preparing for something big, the Lightspeed constellation. This will be faster than what they have now, even in areas that are hard to connect, like the Arctic region. The company thinks that with Lightspeed, they'll make more money from government and defense contracts. They're hopeful about the future, but their financial report shows some tough numbers. $87 million in revenue isn't what they wanted. Here's the rewritten text. SpaceX is on a roll. On Sunday, May 3rd, they launched another successful mission from California's Vandenb Space Force Base. The Falcon 9 rocket took off at exactly 0900 CEST. 13 European satellites were sent to space that day. This was important for Italy's IRIDE program. They wanted to improve their Earth observation skills. 7 new satellites joined the Hawk for Earth Observation Group, bringing their total number of satellites in orbit to 31. 2 small CubeSats on board tested sending data and pictures from space. The Falcon 9 rocket carried cutting-edge technology into space. This mission shows that space exploration is not just about going high, but also about trying new things. The Falcon 9 rocket's successful launch was a big success for SpaceX.